Another really fun question we got in from one of our viewers, and this one's a tough one, and I think it's really important to bring some attention to because I think it's a huge fear of a lot of landlords. And the question is, what happens if my tenant stops paying rent in Texas, and how long does it take to get them out? And we're effectively talking about the eviction process.
That's there's been a lot of legislation happen this last year. You need to make sure you're up to date on that.
That's your disclaimer right off the bat. There is new legislation out. It's always changing. This podcast is an evergreen topic, so we want to just highlight that there is new legislation that's intended to speed up this process, but because that's really the misconception.
It's they're trying to make it quicker because it is there's a lot of red tape and a lot of things that have to happen. And to make it safe for our company, we hire an eviction processor.
Yep.
And we basically hand her the keys and let her run. But she gave me some good notes.
Yay.
And I can kind of give a general overview of what the eviction process is in Texas.
There's usually an initial kind of trigger that starts it,
right? When the rent's due on the first day of the month. And if it's not paid on that first day, technically the second day you can start the process.
Really? Okay.
And you can start the eviction process. You can send out a 3-day notice to pay or evict. And that's the only time the owner's obligated to take rent payments.
Okay.
And after that 3-day expires, we tend to shut the portal off.
Oh, so a payment can't be made.
They can't go in there and pay 1 penny and say, okay, I paid, so now I'm good for another month. We shut the portal off. We don't accept money orders. We are going by the process.
Yes.
After the 3-day expires, then you basically go in and you get a court date. You file at the court. You get an eviction processing court date. That usually takes 2 weeks to 21 days, 14 to 21 days.
Meanwhile, are they living in the house
They're still living in the house.
So there's a risk of them
doing whatever they want
in the house. Okay. It's a double-edged sword.
So you go through that time frame. Once the court date comes up, the judge makes a judgment. And typically, I think you have 6 days for them to either pay the judgment. You either work out a deal with the owners or us, or you vacate.
Okay.
They can up and vacate and be gone.
Or do you get escorts from the police?
That's the next step.
Okay. That's the next. I'm getting ahead of you. Sorry.
So the next step, after during the 6-day time period, the tenants could appeal.
Okay.
So if they appeal, it's basically going to the next level court. At that point, our eviction, in our case, the eviction processor is handing you over to an attorney, and you let the attorney handle after that. Luckily, we've never, knock on wood, never had to go to the appeal process. But you have 6 days to do that, to do your appeal. If they don't appeal, then you basically file what they call a writ of possession. That's good for 24 hours. Once that goes through, after the writ of possession, you got 24 hours to do that. Then the deputy will call to schedule the actual move out of the tenant if they're still in the property. During this time, we're always doing drive-bys to see if we could see them move out.
Right.
If the window blinds are open, we'll check, see if it looks like they're still there. But we got to be careful about that because you do the wrong thing, you could get shot. You can't just walk in, walk in a door. You can't walk through the backyard.
Right.
Any of those kind of things.
They're already on high alert because they know
pressure
they know
moment.
What's up. Yeah.
So basically, the deputy would call and schedule. Once we go do the move out, the owner's required to have a certain, depending on the size of the house, the owner's required to have a certain number of, like, if it's like a 2,000, 2,500 square foot house, they're probably going to have 4 to 6 workers to be able to move out
So
all
the
the furniture.
owner
So the
has to
owner's paying
have.
for that.
Oh.
And the sheriff's there to just keep the
Yep.
peace.
Yep.
They're not going to help move. They're not
Right.
going to do anything. They're just standing there watching.
Yep.
Which I got a good story about that. Once you move all their stuff out to the street, it stays out there. The owner's not required to protect it. They're just moving it out to the street. And they get, basically the tenant has 24 hours to come out and get their
Collect their
stuff in the
items.
middle of the night. They can get whatever they want. That next day, then we hire somebody to go haul it off to the junkyard.
Okay.
But during that 24-hour process, anybody on the street
Oh, yeah.
driving by, they filter
I've
through
seen this
everything.
happen before. It's bizarre because it's just, especially if they had a whole bunch of stuff
Oh, yeah.
in the house. I mean, it's like a whole block just full.
We've moved one before where, I mean, the entire, the street was
The whole
10
sidewalk.
foot tall.
Yes.
And then you had, I mean, we had armoires and
Yep.
couches and love seats and everything. We had the entire yard was full. And
then it always rains.
By that next day, almost all of it was gone.
Wow.
But anyway, one of our evictions, we actually had a parade of the neighbors going back and forth in front of the house for about 3 hours. It was like they didn't have signs or anything, but they were protesting, walking back and forth.
Like to
And
protect
they were yelling at us,
for
me
evicting them out?
specifically, for evicting good people. Those are good people.
Oh,
And I'm just leaning over to the cot and go, how good are they if they hadn't paid rent for 3 months?
Yeah, I would say, how many months was it? It wasn't just 1 month.
They were 3 months not paid, plus the extra month to go through the court process.
Yes.
So we've gotten more and more firm on, you don't pay, we're going to start the process.
Because it takes a while.
We have a few owners, let's give them another month.
Yep.
And the more and more you give them, the more and more they're going to take.
Yep.
And it's come back to bite us a couple times, like that one, we let them go too long.
Mm-hmm.
And we should have cut the cord a lot sooner. But anyway.
And it's like, because a lot of people they want to give them benefit of the doubt, or maybe they're just late, or just this, or, I mean, I did that once. There was one time in my entire life that we rented the house out because we had to relocate so fast. We couldn't sell it. It was a bad market. And they missed rent 1 month, and they said, can we apply our security deposit to this month and we'll get you back next month? Well, guess what? Next month they just left.
Right.
And so we lost security deposit. We were out like $1,600, and they had left it. I had to replace carpet. I needed that security deposit.
Yep.
So pretty much I lost a whole month of rent. And we were just trying to be nice because
We tell them, absolutely not.
and that's why you
for.
need someone like you in between.
Yep.
Like I tell my clients all the time, you need me in between you and your deal, because you will blow up your own deal emotionally all day long. Let me be the sponge. Let me be the filter.
Out of the deal.
Yes. And it's the same thing with a management company as a landlord. You need someone in between. You as a landlord may have the feelings and you want to do all the things. Let the management company be the bad guy.
Right.
Because they're trying to save your money. And just hearing that process, which took a minute, and that was the condensed version.
That's the condensed version.
Condensed version of this process. And let's give you some grace and say it may not be completely exactly how it's supposed to be, but that's the essence of how it works in Texas. And all I heard was deadline, extra bandwidth I got to spend. I got to drive around. I got to go to the court. I don't even which courthouse am I even going to? Which hallway do I got to walk down? Which piece of paper do I need to have? This is too many decisions that I in my daily life do not want to take on. And so I think so many people get so upset about this and don't even touch it because it's too overwhelming, and don't realize you have a whole service that handles all that.
We hire somebody for that for sure. Because I don't want to deal with that.
No. And even before that, you can put some processes in place ahead of time to really, you can't test all characters, right, of people.
Correct.
But your tenant selection process should be able to help steer you
we,
out of this.
We feel we got a pretty good background check. We look at criminal history, credit history, rental history, and employment history.
Yep.
And
you actually call the places.
Or a lot of the do-it-yourself owners, they don't call the previous tenants. They don't call the
when we talked about it on a previous episode where you were like, well, it could be their sister that also said they're putting fake names in there. You're making sure it's real places.
We're actually making sure if they work at this company, you tell me what their job title is, and you tell me what they say that they're making, and you're confirming those numbers.
Yes.
We've actually, during the background check process, we've caught, I mean, I could write a whole book on the lies
of the background checks.
We've actually caught where checks got stolen, and they were using those as employee check stubs, and we helped try to get them prosecuted. We've caught 3-time felon, and his wife was a 17-time habitual, we'll say misdemeanors, but she was doing things that not legal.
Yeah.
And he was her main boss doing that. So you can figure out what that probably is. But they were we had a property out in the country. They were wanting to do that, and so they threw up a flag of we'll pay one full year rent up front, and too many red flags were going up, and we did the background check, and they were hoping we weren't going to do a background check because then we got
it's a property out in the country and it's probably a little bit cheaper rent.
Nobody's going to know that we're out here doing our business.
That's crazy.
So we try to think that our background checks, we're pretty thorough on those, and we're getting qualified tenants in. And what's really sad is one we had last month where we had 3 families. All of them were highly qualified, and we had to take 2 of them and say, sorry.
Why?
Because the one was even more qualified than the others.
Oh, so they're competing with all qualified.
They were all 3 of them were great tenants, potential great tenants.
Right.
And the owner selected one of the 3.
Yep.
And we use that.
Well, because you have to think because prices in Texas have increased so much and rates have increased so much. The cost of living has increased comparative to what it was very recently. A lot of people who would normally be owners of homes are having to rent. And so they have great credit, great income, great all the things. And so now someone who was ever a candidate to purchase a home right now because of their current situation is going against homeowners that should be buying, but they're not because they can't afford it right now, or they're not comfortable affording it because it doesn't make sense for them.
They're moving in and they want to rent for a year
and see what it looks like.
Where they want to live.
And so they're going against all that. When life hits hard, late payments, medical bills, job loss, or even the need to move quickly, many homeowners feel trapped. The fastest way out seems to be selling to a cash investor, but that means giving your home away for pennies on the dollar. You don't have to do that. Nearly half of homeowners today are equity rich, and that value belongs to you. With our One Move program, you can unlock that equity immediately, get cash in hand now, and still share in the upside when your home resells. Or, if you'd rather, we'll shop your property to multiple cash buyers so you can choose the best offer instead of settling for one low bid. Go to DoneDealOffers.com and discover the smarter way to get cash fast without losing the equity you've worked so hard to build.
Ever had to leave work to deal with a problem at your rental property? Wonder when the rent check will arrive? Interrupt your family fun to make repairs? Do you worry when one of these issues will happen to you? Maybe it's time for a change. A chance to do the things you want to do. With Real Property Management, the nation's trusted leader in property management, you'll get more from your rental property without the headaches and hassle. We fill vacancies quickly so you can spend time doing the things that are important to you. We screen tenants thoroughly so you can have peace of mind. We collect the rent so you can pay your bills on time. We provide cost-effective, reliable maintenance so you can spend time with your family. We conduct frequent evaluations of your rental property so you can feel comfortable knowing your home is being maintained. We handle evictions so you can avoid confusing legal forms and time in court. We provide online statements and regular communication so you always know the financial status of your property and feel in control. And through training and support from a nationwide network with over 25 years of experience, we stay up to date and lead the industry so you can sit back and let us handle the details. Don't spend your time unclogging toilets, chasing down rent payments, and learning how to comply with property management laws. The professionals at your real property management office take on the hassles of property management so you don't miss out on the things and people important to you.
The eviction process has always been a tedious one. They're trying in Texas to make it a little bit quicker, but who knows what that really truly looks like in practice. It's a resource that you guys offer to your clients. It is based on one of your programs that you guys do offer. So it's a question to have of your pricing tiers. And honestly, I think whenever I work with a client and say you're going to have a pricing tier, I always say pick the one that has the eviction process because it's the one, it's like insurance. You want to make sure when you do need it, you have it. Right?
When you need it, you want to make sure you have it.
Yes, because you can't retroactively add it later, right? If you have to go through the eviction process, could they pay a flat fee to have you run it, I guess, or is it do you have an option for that?
They actually pay for it.
The whole Yep. So it's a fun little process, but it's better to find someone who does. I think a lot of management fee or companies don't offer eviction.
Lot walk away from it.
Because it's tedious. It takes up time. There's a lot of legal parts. At any point, they can reset the clock and start it all over again, unless they've changed that in the new stuff. But
no, if you don't follow the guidelines, you screw yourself.
Yep.
You gotta refile, restart over. And it's just continuous on and on and on.
And that's why
while they're living for free in your house.
Yes, that's why the squatters and they're considered squatters at that point, I would say, right? So Texas, I don't think I don't think we're as bad as some states like California. Like the squatter rights in California really
they're a lot tougher for the owners. It's more tenant friendly.
Yes. So it's just not something I think a lot of people really want to deal with. And I think it's something that keeps a lot of people up at night. And knowing that there is a way to pre-tenant selection is really important, and making sure you know what that looks like.
Yes.
But you also have to be fair in how you do it so you don't get in trouble with any fair housing.
There's a lot of fair housing laws that you got to watch out for.
So there's that. And then if you are finding yourself in that position, it's don't be the nice guy and give a month after month after month because you're just kicking the can down the road of when you're going to have to deal with it. And two, you might need somebody who's going to be professional and step in between so you can try to, keep the inside of your house still in good condition and hopefully not make anybody upset where they're going to destroy the house or whatever. And I know that might come in where the judgment comes in where they have to pay for any damages they've done but I mean, all of that.
Once we finish an eviction, we typically send everybody to collections. And we've actually gotten a couple properties where we actually got money back for the owner.
That's awesome.
But we tell the owner you're trying to prevent them from doing it again to somebody else.
Yes.
So they're going to have an eviction on their record and then top that off with collections also.
Yep.
So it makes it harder for them to do this to somebody else.
Yes. Yep. So it's just part of...
But every once in a while you get money back. So you never know.
Well, I think that's a helpful couple things. Obviously, do your own research, figure out what you want to know about the eviction process. But if you find yourself caught up in this right now, you definitely need the resources.
Highly recommend you talk to people that know what they're doing.
Yes. And if you're not getting into the investment world because you're afraid of this, there are some ways to get around it.
This should be just a minor negative and not a major factor.
It's just another checkbox that you just need to be aware of and educated about so that because I think the fear comes from not knowing. And so if you know a little bit more about it and you know how there's a process and you know there's a way, it might stink and
prevent it up front by doing a good background check.
Yep. That usually solves.
That minimizes your risk quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it can happen anyway, because obviously, you know, the one was a good person. I mean, people lose their jobs and things happen, but that's
Life
also why
happens.
I love your services, because you're always constantly doing check-ins. You're not waiting 6 months to find out something has happened. Like, you guys are constantly staying involved with all of your properties that you work with. And I think that's so important, because I would say probably a lot of your landlords probably don't live here either.
No, most of ours are
out of state,
out of the city, out of state,
and so
or out of the country.
Out of the country, exactly. So if you're trying to DIY it yourself, not even being in the same state, most of them are like, well, what do I do about repairs? Repairs aren't the only thing you need to worry about. There's other things you need to be considerate of.